Been called the next Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, and now Kerri Evelyn Harris wants to make her own history. Harris is challenging a longtime Delaware Democratic senator in the primary this September. Senator Tom Carper, who's seeking his fourth term, has actually never had a Democratic challenger until now. Kerri Evelyn Harris joins me now from Philadelphia. Thanks so much for the time. As we mentioned in the introduction, you're going up against an incumbent senator who's won statewide elections in Delaware as governor, then as senator. You've never run for anything. So why do you get into this race?
Not.
And why do you get into this race? And what in your background convinces you that you're the right person for this job?
Well, thank you for having me, first of all. And yes, I'm going up against Senator Carper, who has been in office even before I was born and has really served our state. However, it's time for change. My concern is I've lived in this economy as a result of this Great Recession. I know what it takes to survive, what people are going through. As an organizer who has worked up and down the state and nationally, as someone who served in our armed forces, as someone who has worked as an auto body mechanic and also had fried chicken at a local gas station just to make ends meet, I know what the average American is going through. And we need diversity and experience as well as diversity and background in order to ensure that people are not left in the margins, but are brought into the core of legislation.
You're seen as part of this progressive push within the Democratic Party. We mentioned you've been compared to Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez. How has that helped your campaign?
Ocasio, myself, Ng, Abdul in Michigan, you name it, we are all that same type of person. Win or lose, we will put it all on the field for every American in these United States, and we will run grassroots organizations that don't rely on corporate money because we only want to be beholden to the people.
These new progressive candidates are notable in large part because of the policy positions you guys are staking out. And I know it's hard to give like really quick answers to complicated, important questions, but I want to tick through a bunch of these. So as quickly as you can, I want to help viewers understand where you stand on a number of important issues. Number one, ICE. Should it be abolished?
Yes.
Should health care be a universal right for Americans?
Yes.
Should public college be free?
Yes.
Should marijuana be legal?
Yes.
You're doing so good at this, and I only have one more. Based on what we know now, should President Trump be impeached?
Yes.
Okay, 5 for 5. And you're now a candidate in a very difficult race, and though there isn't great polling, there's no question you're the underdog. In less than a month, how do you close this gap?
So, yeah, the beautiful thing about underdogs and being an American is we love underdogs, right? There's something about the fight, the grit that is in the American spirit, and I have that. And beyond the American spirit, it's the working class, that work ethic that we carry across generations. I've always said from the beginning, we'll never outraise, but we'll always outwork. It's a movement. I'm not worried about it. People often say, aren't you scared? The only thing I'm afraid of is that we maintain the status quo. I'm afraid that people won't have health care. I'm afraid that there won't be adequate education. I'm afraid that we're going to have water and air that is not actually usable. I'm afraid that we're going to have a criminal justice system that continues to be imbalanced. I'm afraid that we're going to create laws that are racist and xenophobic and create an atmosphere where we are less safe within our borders and overseas. These are the things I'm afraid of. Running a competition, running an election against somebody who has been elected over and over again is not a fear. My only fear is that we don't know that we have an option.
You talk about changing the status quo. If elected, would you support Chuck Schumer as the Democratic leader in the Senate?
I think that fundamentally we need to come together as a party to include Chuck Schumer. I think that if we come to a place where we are leading the voices of Democrats and Republicans, we are truly the party of the people, I'm fully in support. I have to see that we are making those changes to make sure that we don't just provide access to things, that we actually make sure our people, our working class, are provided for.
At the beginning, I thought I heard a yes, and then towards the end, I wasn't sure. Yes, you support Schumer?
I support Schumer right now. Yes, I do.
You clearly want to change the party. You talk about supporting its current leader. So how exactly do you think progressives should go about making this change? And what do you say to folks who say going so far to the left hurts Democrats' chances?
The problem is we're fighting against something instead of for something as a party. The moment we realize that fighting for something is what our American people want, we want to be able to speak to our neighbors again, we want to be able to build coalitions within our communities, then we will see forward movement. And it has nothing to do with party. But if we keep allowing ourselves to be labeled and say this is too left or this is too right, then we're not going to find the solutions that actually work for people. And again, it's healthcare, it's education, it's criminal justice reform, it's comprehensive immigration reform, it's securing our borders and having a sound foreign policy that makes us safer and stronger as a nation. Until we do those things, regardless of party, we're inhibiting our country.
It's been noted that you would be, if elected, the first openly LGBTQ person of color in the U.S. Senate. If that were to happen, what, if anything, would that mean to you?
I've always tried to live my life since I was in the military when I served under Don't Ask, Don't Tell, and I had to make concessions about my truth, who I was, and I was determined that once Don't Ask, Don't Tell was ended, that I would always live my life exactly as it should be, and as to know that I'm supposed to be anywhere I choose to be. And winning this election will say that same thing to all LGBTQ people of any race, but most especially people of color, because being a part of the gay community is something that is still a stigma within our communities, our own personal communities, and this will show that there's nothing that can hold us back and there are no differences. My life will be highlighted on a national platform, and it will show everybody that there is no difference in how we lead our lives. I'm a parent, I'm a daughter, I'm a sister, I'm a community person, and there is no difference between LGBTQ people and those who do not identify in that way, and my platform will show that, as will my life.
Okay, Kerri Evelyn Harris, thanks so much for sharing your time and sharing your views.
Thank you so much. You have a good one.
We've also asked Senator Tom Carper to join us here on Red and Blue. The Delaware primary is coming up on September 6th.